subscribe. Tariq Radio. Watch and subscribe.
Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un?
Mr. Nasheed, how's it going tonight,
I'm
man?
good, man. How are you, Kim Jong?
I'm good, bro. I'm a tether, but I'm trying to like break free from that, man. How do I go about doing that, bro?
Man, now you're East African?
How do you know?
I heard flies back. Uh,
No, you're pretty good at it, man. I give it to
yes,
you, bro.
indeed. I heard flies. Now, where are you in Canada, Minnesota? Where you located now?
Minnesota, man. Minnesota,
There you
buddy.
go. So what's on your mind, man? You good? As long as as long as you respect us and come in and talk like you got some sense, you're good. So what's on your mind?
The thing is, man, I feel like I relate more to you guys than I do my own people, bro. It's kind of fucked up.
No, why is it up? You probably do. You came over and you had to leave your homeland. So just, just show respect, right?
No, but the people that follow you, bro, they're pretty mean, bro.
Well, I have millions of people who follow me. I can't control that. Everybody ain't mean. I'm not mean. Am I mean?
It's like their job is to make me feel like I'm second class. You know what I mean? So
No. I'm not mean to you guys. I'm not mean. So yeah. So people, you probably say something you weren't supposed to say. And if you say something slick, people are gonna get at you, right?
no, hopefully one day I'm, fully assimilated, bro. Just pray for me,
Yes,
man.
indeed, man. Just keep a do-rag on that forehead and we won't recognize that you're foreign and you'll be good to go.
I appreciate it, my brother, man. I
Yeah,
love you.
respect to you, brother. All right, let me see, because we have a lot of folks in here. We have a lot of folks in here. Who is this? Real bad effort. Okay. Okay, hopefully this ain't somebody who's just trying to promote their page. Real bad, are you in here, ma'am? Okay, this is like oh yeah, this is the janky page. Yeah, this is a fake page. Real bad, are you in here? Real bad. And yeah, and the picture you got up, I know the girl, one of the women you got on your page. I know her, so that definitely you're running a fake page because that ain't you. All right, let me see who else we got. We got Smiley. Let's get Smiley in the building. Smiley, what's up, Smiley? Mr. Smiley, hop on in. Or Mouse. Miss Mouse, you want to say something?
Good morning.
Good morning, Mouse. How are you, dear?
I'm doing great. I just woke up and I
Hello?
was hoping I was able to catch you
Okay.
tonight.
What's on your mind?
Um, I wanted to talk to you about, because I've only been hip to your space for like a year, this July, and I was wondering, has it always, like, how long has the tethers and people like that been against us and hate against us and stuff like that? Because I've always been loving of anyone who resembled
Yeah.
me. So, and it just baffles me as to how much hatred they have towards us and stuff like that. Has it been that way for a while? Because it's been a year since I found your space.
Yeah, thank you. Let me answer that because there's a little feedback there. But yeah, it's been like this for a while. If we're going to be honest, family, we read some documents, some magazines, in the damn '60s, where you had immigrants denigrating us, talking about how they want to distance themselves from us. They don't want to be seen as American Negroes. They want to be seen as something different. The same shit they say about us now, they were saying this same stuff in the early '60s. Documented. So behind the scenes, they've been, not all of them. I mean, we got some riders, and I'm not trying to throw everybody under the bus, but let's be real. A lot of the tether class, they've been on this janky anti-FBA thing for decades. And they've been telling each other little stuff behind the scenes. And we thinking, okay, these are our brothers. We're gonna look out for them. And while we're looking out for them, they're behind the scenes like, oh, those are katas. Oh, these lazy niggas. And let's be real, we start just looking back in hindsight. We start remembering when we couldn't get cabs and taxis on the East Coast. You go to DC and you be in New York and foundational Black Americans couldn't get a cab. Who was driving them cabs? Come on now, let's just be honest. Many of them were tethers driving them cabs. Let's be real. So they've been on that anti-FBA thing. It's been a thing. So it came to a head with Obama. It really came to a head with Obama. We saw he was the head tether in charge. When we saw him get into power, we elevated Obama, and we saw that man didn't do a damn thing to help us. We start putting two and two together, and we said, hey, we're gonna have to. There's something to this thing. These people who ain't from our lineage, they act a certain way. So we had to just start putting two and two together, and we delineated, and we should have been doing that, to be honest. Smiley, what's up, Smiley?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's up, Smiley?
How you doing, brother Tariq? I was calling. I mean, I was picking it. I mean, damn, I was just tuning in to ask you. I wanted to come to the Hidden Museum and everything to visit and everything, and probably just make a donation, all that stuff. But I want to know because I'm coming out of town, and this is
Yeah.
for future reference. I'm not familiar with the LA area, and I want to know, like, to avoid some possible, like attacks or anything, like far as with the gangs and stuff like that. Like, what's the what colors do I wear? Like, just so I don't attract, something I'm not trying to, deal with. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, if you just chill out on the red and blue, that's it. Just don't wear too much red, don't wear too much blue, and you'll be good to go. Any other color is good. And also, don't wear a hat with don't wear a Houston hat. All right, that's another thing because people don't think you're Hoover. So yeah. Um
Okay. And I
uh
have another question too, sir. Like, I'm planning to come from Denver and like onto the airport and everything, bro. And I wanted to know what be like. I can Google it. Do you have like Can you give me like where to go to far as hotels and stuff like that that's closer? Because basically I'm probably have to go like, do probably come to like I'm sorry, I'm nervous because it's the first I've been
it's all
following for so long, so I'm kind of nervous and all that. But at the same time, sir, I want to know like as far as like what would be the closest hotels to that area so I can have an idea of how to
downtown.
budget my money and all that kind of stuff for Uber and all that stuff.
Thank you. Let me answer online because I'm trying to answer. You cut me off. So yeah, downtown LA. We're not too far from downtown LA. We're like 5 minutes from downtown LA. So downtown LA, you can also get a hotel in Hollywood somewhere. Hollywood would be good, or you can get a hotel at LAX. We're like right in the center of LA. The Hidden History Museum is right literally in the middle of LA. So we're in a real good spot. So we're like 5, 10 minutes from Hollywood, 5 minutes from downtown. Um, Crenshaw Boulevard's right down the street. Swap Meet is down the street. Yeah, so we're close to everything. So you can stay at LAX, you come stay in Hollywood, stay downtown. So and you'll be good. And plus the Hidden History Museum, that's a safe zone within itself. So whatever you wear, whatever color you wear, you come up there, you're gonna be good. You'll be good. It's a safe zone. It's a neutral zone. All right. And yeah, by the way, y'all, we got an event November 15th, so y'all need to come on out. It is a vibe. Okay, well, I'm getting all of these titty pages. Okay, I'm getting a lot of people popping up here. I don't know if y'all trying to promote your pages. Let's okay. I'm not knocking your page, but I think some of these pages are run by dudes. All right, so watch out, brothers. Y'all don't do that now. Some of these pages are run by dudes. It's probably these East Indian dudes. All right. So y'all raise your hand. I'm gonna get y'all on in here. And we do have a lot of folks in the building. Let's get let me see who we got. Let's get Head and Shoulders. Let's get Head and Shoulders in the building. Head and Shoulders. Head and Shoulders in the building. Mr. Head and Shoulders, hop on in.
Hey Tariq, this is Nick from Chicago.
Hey, what's going on, Nick?
Yeah, so I wanted to say something because we got a bunch of tethers that call in, especially more recently, that have been talking about our FBA inventors. So
Yeah.
I want to say this, and I feel like I've had a very blessed life to be surrounded unknowingly at first until I really thought about it by so many people that have been inventors. And here's a big thing that I think we don't highlight enough where we may have an inventor for a company, but their name won't necessarily be credited. Like my mentor, I mentioned him last year. That was the last time I actually called in on your program. But I have a friend that's like a brother to me. His father worked on behalf of Verizon Wireless. I'll make this very short, just two instances here. And he's not going to be credited. And he had explained it to me. He said anything that he makes, Verizon owns.
Mm,
So
yeah.
he showed me the whole system that he could press a button, all our cell phones go off. He was like, "Man, the U.S. government will be here in about 3 minutes if I do that." But he showed us to us, and he made so many patents. He went over to China, did international travel to him, and then one more person, my ex's adopted parents, their FBA. Now, a lot of people joke around with the baby oil stuff, but he was doing patents for baby oil and everything. But Johnson and Johnson, they own the rights to that patent. So what I'm doing is once I get their permission to use their name and other people that can find that out, I'm going to do a little encyclopedia of the ones that we can't necessarily find by looking at, a quick search because we need to really get that out there. And I'll land my plane there.
Yeah, man, real talk. Thank you, brother. And yeah, that's what we talk about at the Hidden History Museum. We got a lot of stuff that we've invented. We've invented so much stuff. That's why when these white supremacists call up talking about all the shit they invented, really name it. That's why when they start naming stuff, I'll show you the black person who was instrumental in contributing to it. Dude, I want us to understand, but we've had our hand in contributing to so much stuff. I mean, household items, everything. We've had a hand in it and we just don't get the credit. You see? So that's our job. That's our job to put that information out there. Yeah. And speaking of educating ourselves, y'all see what's happening down in Florida, family? Do y'all see what's happening in Florida? They are trying to push some kind of legislation to force public universities in Florida. Have y'all heard this, family? They're trying to force public universities to name a street after Charlie Kirk. Yeah, yeah, hey, I'm not making this up. Let me find the guy's name. Hold on one second. Let me find the politician's name real quick. I'm looking it up real quick, real quick. So yeah, they're trying to. Okay, here it is. Um, a Florida bill would force public universities to name roads after Charlie Kirk or lose state funding. Republican lawmaker in Florida introduced a bill seeking to force the Sunshine State's public universities to rename at least one road on campus after slain conservative pundit Charlie Kirk or lose a chunk of their funding if they refuse. This is State Representative Kevin Steele. So they're pushing a bill. They're trying to get it's not passed. And hopefully this bullshit just falls off. But who knows with these white supremacists? So what they're saying is if this thing is passed, this would require state colleges, especially all those HBCUs down there, because this is what this is really targeted after, those HBCUs, FAMU and all those places down there. So that will require state colleges to redesignate specific roads with certain names relating to Charlie Kirk, according to the bill. So the bill notes that universities would be allowed at 90 days to make the change if it's passed. If they fail to comply, they will have state funds withheld. So the state's 40 public colleges would need to adopt Charlie Kirk Drive Charlie Kirk Road, or Charlie Kirk Boulevard, according to the bill. Most of these suggestions strip streets currently named after mascots, landmarks, or alumni. Others are standard College Road, College Drive streets, which are staples of most academic institutions countrywide. Still wrote on X that the goal is to continue Kirk's legacy through generations of students that will attend our schools and be faced with many differing ideas. Okay. Now, Kirk, who did not complete a formal college education, famously toured at different schools around the country and held debates with students on both sides of the aisle. Horse crap. He was up there trolling. So, yeah, this is horse crap. I want y'all to understand where this is coming from. This is basically a strategic power move. This ain't about honoring no damn legacy. All right? This isn't about honoring damn Charlie Kirk. This is about flexing political muscle. They're trying to force HBCUs to name streets after a white supremacist. That's a symbolic show of dominance. See, that's the political equivalence of saying, hey, we run shit now, and these we can even make these sacred black institutions bear the name of one of our white supremacists. So that's a colonial style thing. You're trying to plant the flag of white supremacy on a conquered land. They're trying to show conquering dominance. And basically, what they're trying to do, they want to troll and humiliate black institutions. This is cultural trolling they're doing. They know that Charlie Kirk is deeply unpopular in black spaces. They know we don't with no Charlie Kirk, especially at HBCUs. By forcing his name on those campuses, they're trying to mock black political autonomy, basically. They want to provoke outrage, and they want to rub it in. We can make you honor somebody who disrespects you. That's just white supremacy. That's provocation. That's it. And it's all about rebranding far right white supremacy as mainstream. See, they're trying to institutionalize a name like Charlie Kirk at these educational facilities, at HBCU. See, they're trying to pull a Henry Grady. But see, y'all let I've said this so many times. There should not be no statue of Henry Grady. They've normalized Henry Grady, who was nothing more than a white supremacist down in Atlanta. They got statues of Henry Grady, Grady Hospital. They've institutionalized the name Grady. Grady was a white supremacist, nothing more, nothing less. He was like the Richard Spencer of his day. But they institutionalize him. So you got black people running around Atlanta talking about that. I'm a Grady baby. I'm Grady this and I'm a Grady baby that. Almost like a badge of honor. It's not. So that's what they're trying to do with Charlie Kirk. If they institutionalize him and make his name synonymous with academic institutions, the next generation will think, okay, well, shit, I'm a Kirk baby. They're going to name a hospital after Charlie Kirk. I'm a Kirk baby. You don't know the real deal. They're trying to whitewash Charlie Kirk's legacy in real time. And it's up to us to say, oh, no, you're not going to do that. Yeah. See, once you start naming streets and buildings after somebody, you have to erase the controversy and then try to cement their legacy. See, this is legacy laundering through state power. And basically, what they really want to do, they want to infiltrate and disrupt HBCU culture. You know? So forcing Kirk's name onto HBCU campuses, that's an ideological Trojan horse. They want to disrupt that cultural environment and sow division and create tension. Yeah. And also they want to send a message to their donor base and their conservative base. You know, it lets their donors and the far right white supremacists know we're so bold, we'll even put Charlie Kirk's name on a black college campus. Yeah. So it's not about educational policy. This is performative politics. Yeah. And also down in Florida, they already run around here talking about stop woke. Oh, we got to get all the Black history. See, you're whining about all the Black history that you got to get out of schools out there in Florida, but then you want to put a white supremacist name on a street out there at the HBCUs. So this is cultural dominance. See, this is why when we do our documentaries and films, everybody has to support. That's why it's important for us to do what we do, and we get all the support imaginable, because we have to counter this stuff, and we counter it on our terms. We counter this stuff on our terms, ladies and gentlemen. And now they're daring the Black institutions to rebel so they can punish them. So the proposal is a trap. So if an HBCU, if they protest or refuse, they're going to punish the school's funding, label them as radical, and use that as a talking point about left-wing intolerance. So they want a narrative, so they want a reaction so they can flip the narrative. And they can run around here saying, oh, reverse racism. Oh, see, the real racists are them Black people. Charlie Kirk, oh God, they don't want to honor Charlie Kirk. All he did was he just wanted to have an honest debate. Out of here. So it's a trick bag. And why are they always targeting HBCUs? With this Charlie Kirk thing, ever since Charlie got hit, they've been nonstop targeting HBCUs. Y'all notice that? Just nonstop. The Black people, we're the easiest and safest scapegoat to them. See, with white supremacy and right wingers, they've relied on the Black community to be the default target. When they feel a loss, whenever they feel fear or humiliation, we got to be targeted. It's not even about logic, it's about emotional conditioning. See, the thing is, in their worldview, Blackness represents rebellion, it represents resistance, it represents societal change. So when a white supremacist dies, even if it's unrelated, they got to channel their grief and hatred towards Black people, simply because it's socially acceptable to do. And they want to reassert dominance through intimidation. See, they lost a high-profile white supremacist. So the far right, they feel exposed. They feel weak right now. They feel real weak because there's internal factions going on. So instead of mourning inwardly, they have to reestablish dominance by threatening HBCUs, attacking Black spaces. These are symbols of Black independence, Black education, Black resistance. So it's all about reaffirming the hierarchy, you see. So they need a culture war to distract them from their own chaos. See, the Kirk's death, that disrupted a lot of unity on the far right. They're running around here with all types of conspiracy theories now, and Charlie Kirk was getting text messages from the Israel. They're all over the place. They're all over the place. So they got to rally the troops to redirect all of that chaos outward. So, you got to attack Black folks. That's a unifying cause. That brings the white supremacists together all the time. So they need some to distract from their internal fractures. So they need their followers to stand against something. And family, they blame Black America for the decline of white power. See, Kirk and his people, they always repeatedly positioned Black activism and DEI and BLM and HBCUs as the reason America is declining. So in the minds of many of his followers, his death becomes symbolic, as if he was killed by wokeness, even though that's not factual. They attack the Black community because they see the Black community as representing the cultural shift that they blame everything for. And they got to go after HBCUs because that's a soft target with powerful symbolisms. The HBCUs, they're not just schools, they're cultural nerve centers for Black history, Black pride, and Black resistance. See, they're visible, but they're very vulnerable, but they're historic. So threatening HBCUs, see, that lets the white extremists make statements like, we can reach into your sacred spaces and do what we want to do. So they're trying to invoke fear. They're trying to demoralize and discourage Black intellectual and political organizing. Yeah. So it's like political martyrdom. So to Charlie Kirk, he's now a martyr for white supremacy. And martyrdom, it always demands a sacrifice from someone else. So the hate isn't random. That's like a ritualized form of vengeance. They can't lash out at the actual cause of Kirk's death, which is another white supremacist suspect. So they go after the people he hated the most. So that hatred is holy to them. They're carrying out his legacy of anti-Blackness. Yeah. So yeah, these white supremacists are something else, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's get Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect Official. Well, hold on. Mr. Perfect Official. Hop on in, Perfect Official. Let's see what you got to say, sir. Go ahead, Perfect. Mr. Perfect, you want to unmute your mic, sir? I do not have you muted. All right. You are up and you can get on. I would like to hear what you have to say. And while we're waiting on Mr. Perfect, let's get my neck. Let's get my neck in the building. My neck. What's up, my neck? All right. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Let's get
baseball. I said, I don't care, man. I run track. I didn't see any color and never have, never will. I'm a Marine, very proud to serve my country, serve with some of my, almost, but all my Marine drill instructors who I respect and like fathers were Black except one. And I'm telling you that it has nothing to do with anything. I see no color and never have. But sir, in all due respect, on the Charlie Kirk thing, you're crossing the line. All due respect, you're very articulate. You know your shit. But
okay.
sir,
Slow
please.
down. Slow down. Slow down.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you're into anecdotal things about your personal life and your experiences growing up with certain people. But with Charlie Kirk, his whole spiel was denigrating Black people. He didn't do anything else except denigrate us. What else is he known for?
Wow. Have
I'm
you
ask-
heard any of his
yeah, I'm asking you, what else was he known for besides denigrating Black people?
unifying young people and being able to get them to communicate and have a constructive debate, just as you are, sir. Just as you are.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't constructive. It was denigrating. He would go up there to kids and throw out a bunch of bad faith talking points. He knew these folks can come over here to us. They don't come over here to us. Because we light their asses up with facts. They know that shit don't fly with us. So they go target kids with that bullshit. They know better. They know who to come with that stuff with them bad faith talking points. They know we shut that stuff down over here. So let's not play that game where y'all don't know how much of an anti-Black racist he was. All across the board. I'm not making it up. His whole platform was anti-Black racism. Great Black Shark. Hop on in, sir.
Salute to you, black man. Can you hear me okay, brother?
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm doing grand, man. And first and foremost, I want to say this, rest in power to our good brother, Black Voltron Reloaded.
Yeah,
condolences to his family, of course. That brother will not be forgotten.
right.
That brother, a good friend, and we will definitely carry on the work in that brother's honor. But I want to say something to, who's this up here? Freedom, what's his name? Freedom Rings?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Freedom.
man.
Hold on. Just hold tight. Listen, Freedom Rings. Let me say this to you. You may be sincere in what you're saying, okay? Couple things I need to inform you of. Number one, your anecdotal experiences do not define the reality that my people, foundational Black American freedmen, live. That's number one. Number two, because you feel that way or think that way about Charlie Kirk, listen to what you're saying to us when you come over here. You almost had a threatening tone talking about we're crossing lines. You don't get to define how we perceive anything as Black people in America.
You're very correct.
Do not interrupt me. You don't get to define our reality as Black people. Number three, I'm saying this to you and every white person on the sound of my voice. When you come over here talking about, I don't see color, this, that, and the third, even if you mean that, you just exposed yourself for being one of the most extreme white supremacists. We all see color. There's no such thing. That statement, and perhaps you've never thought about this, but when you say I don't see color, how? We live in a system that had Jim Crow, black codes, and we still have it on paper. We have common law white supremacy today. There's all kinds of discrimination against us in all 9 areas of people activity in this country, okay? So you cannot come over here with your feelings, or even if your thoughts are sincere, you don't get to come over here and dictate terms to Black people. See, you got to look at something. I'm going to teach you something, because maybe you are speaking in good faith. Maybe you are. But you
I'm
look
by
at,
no means speaking terms, but anyway, go on.
I'm going to say this to you one more time, okay? Because see, now I'm starting to suspect that you are a white supremacist. Do not interrupt me again when I'm talking. You do that with your children. I'm a grown man. I'm also a combat veteran myself. 20 plus years in the United States Navy in a special operations unit. Let me tell you something. You don't get to come over here and dictate terms to us, because if you look at all these Charlie Kirk fanatics, that's what my brother Tariq was saying. They're invading Black spaces. If somebody says, hey, look, we don't want to talk to you, and you continue to try to invade these spaces to force that, that's white supremacy. We don't owe you a debate. And I'm going to close with this. I don't know if you know who Dr. John Henry Clark is, but the only thing that Black people owe anybody is an ass whooping. Well, that's it. I'll land, brother Tariq.
My man. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Freedom.
I respect everybody, man. It's open, articulate debate, and I appreciate his words, but I respectfully disagree. But and I'm the way he interpreted that I don't see color, man. I just have never have through my through my life, man. So and y'all can't say that I'm the white supremacist because I have never seen that through. I don't know. It's twisted. I don't know how you twist that on me, man. But anyway, God bless every one of you, man. Really sincerely bless every one of you, and I hope everyone. I'm not trying to be argumentative. I'm just trying to have just an open debate here, man. Not digging anybody.
Yeah,
Come
but
on,
yeah,
man.
not digging in anybody either, but we're speaking truth to power. See, I think a lot of you guys who are fans of Kirk's, y'all don't like the fact that we're not allowing you to rewrite his history. See, that's what y'all don't like. See, there's a major campaign to sit up here and erase all of this vile, racist, anti-Black, white supremacist shit that this man spewed his whole career. And because you guys are sanitizing his legacy, we keep reminding people exactly who he was. And y'all have a problem with that. Because y'all can't say we're lying. And that whole can you show me what he said that was racist? Y'all can stop that bullshit.
I would like to see a video where he's talking anything about racism. I've never seen it.
And you're a fan of this guy? How have you not seen it? And that's all he did. See, that's the problem that we have.
If it's all he did, then it's easy to post it to me, sir. All due respect.
Ah,
Can you just show me one line where he said something against a Black person?
yeah, there's whole video series about it. People have whole compilations about it. The whole
Can you give me one, though? If there's so many out there,
I
please, sir, all due respect. Give me one. Post it.
Well, the one he talked about black pilots. If he saw a black pilot, he would be nervous to fly on a plane. And oh my, come on, dude. Where do we start?
Well, I guess that's it, actually.
That ain't it. You just wanted one. I'm not going to sit up and name all
No,
of them.
I mean, but no, you nailed it. I mean, so I guess that's it. So it's about, instead of merit based, it's DEI based, and I'm not a white supremacist at all, brother. I'm telling you, and I'm not your brother, and I'm sure you're going to say that.
Right, but
it has nothing to do with that. We're all brothers in this world, man. We're going through some shit right now.
Where did DEI and all that come in, though?
That's where I wonder where did all this start, man.
Yeah, but because see, that's the thing with Charlie Kirk. It was a damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario. If you were black, if you were black and poor, oh God, the black community is so horrible. The single mothers, y'all ain't got no fathers. You need to pull yourselves up. Okay, if we do pull ourselves up, well, damn it, DEI programs. Oh, you got it unfairly. Oh, you took a white man's job. So it was damned if you do, damned if you don't with Charlie Kirk.
No, I've never really looked at it from that perspective, but hey, it's.
Hey, Flex. Hey, Freedom.
Let me get Cousin Jerry in here. Cousin Jerry, hop on in.
Hey, Freedom.
Yes, sir.
Freedom. Listen, we've explained to you guys as much as we care to explain. If you do not see Charlie Kirk's racism, it's because you're racist. We're not going to dance around it with you guys anymore. You cannot come in our spaces, and play dumb. Just as soon as the man told you about demanding stuff, you started demanding that Tariq teach you about somebody you claim you follow. Listen, go find somebody else to play with. Just could y'all please go away? Charlie Kirk was a piece of shit. I'm going to tell you that to your face. He was a piece of shit. I don't care if you get mad. Get mad, put a cape on, get super mad. Just go away. And I'm going to drop down, Flex.
There you go. Thank you so much.
In all due respect, I mean, if he wants me to go away, I'll drop out, man.
No.
I'll land it.
Let me have
drop out.
Brother Robbie. But I'm trying to be constructive. I'm trying.
Well, me too, sir. All due respect. Again, I'm trying to give all due respect. I don't think I've been not some of these souls that come in here and give you shit. And
hello, Freedom. How you doing?
Well, feel a little beat up here, but
can you hear me? Okay, here's my thing. You say white supremacy is like a myth, right? You don't see it?
I'm saying I didn't see it in his
right. It's just a yes or no answer. It's not a loaded question. It's a yes or no. You have the right to feel how you feel. You're saying you just don't see it, right?
Honestly,
okay,
you want me to give an honest answer? I don't see it. So I'm blind,
and I'm gonna tell you. Hold up. So I'm gonna have a conversation with you. I'm gonna tell you what I don't see, and I've never seen. I've never seen DEI, and I've never seen black folks get handed anything, including my father, who's a Vietnam veteran, including myself, who's also a veteran. So it's actually an insult to black folks that have had to work hard and be qualified, because we have to go through the same standards as everyone else. What it is every time there's a hiccup in capitalism, these oligarchs know how to pull strings because they have conditioned white folks to be on this hallucinogen. Do you know what that hallucinogen is called? White supremacy. You're not more supreme of me. No other white person is more supreme of us. What has happened is the system of white supremacy allowed white people to become welfare queens after FDR's New Deal. If it had not been for the government and black folks paying taxes and finally the rich being taxed, the middle class would have never existed. Do you know for like 2,000 years, when you guys did have a white ethno-state, the oligarchs who had very high IQs, all they gave people was a twisted form of religion and a twisted sense of identity. And the name of that drug was called white supremacy. So it's white supremacy for poor peasants, but it's white supremacy and greed for these rich oligarchs. And every time there's a hiccup in capitalism, they know how to tell you who to demonize, who to tell is evil. And here's the thing, and I've seen it in the military, and we've seen it time and time again in our lives. White supremacy, the system of it, allows mediocre white people to make life or death decisions. When you have somebody who's a drug addict, and I'm going to take white supremacy like it's a drug, Neely Fuller taught us that there's 10 areas of people activity. So when you talk about education, when you talk about war, when you talk about sex, when you talk about economics, would you want a heart surgeon to perform surgery on you if they were a drug addict? Would you want somebody who's a
I
drug
would
addict?
rather the most qualified individual do that.
Listen to what I said specifically. I said drug addict. That's beyond, we're not even talking about qualification. We're talking about somebody who's out of their mind, not steeped in reality. Would you allow them to perform heart surgery or brain surgery on them? Would you want somebody like that to even be qualified to be a Walmart greeter? What I'm describing to you is our reality, which our ancestor Dick Gregory said, the scariest place for a black person to be is in a white supremacist imagination. So what I'm telling you is, white supremacy is the name of the drug y'all been snorting since 1776, and the middle class didn't even go past 10%. People were dirt poor, believing in a fantasy and a dream. And every time there's a hiccup in capitalism, every time people start to wake up a little bit because they never want a repeat of Bacon's Rebellion, you guys are the ones that act like you have a low IQ, like you don't get it. That's the part that trips me out. We definitely know you're not supreme, but they've gassed you enough to believe that you are. And every time we kick ass in every area of people activity with less than 1/2 or 1% of the wealth of this country, instead of us coming together as brothers, instead of people embracing us during Reconstruction, they allowed the good versus evil. If you want to talk about ignorance was the 30 Years' War in Europe, where you had 8 million people die over religion. So that's our problem with Charlie Kirk, is somebody going out here. If we want to use freedom of speech versus hate speech as a baseline, hindsight is 2020. You've heard of Joseph Goebbels before, right? We can all agree that would you agree that Joseph Goebbels is a terrible human being in 2020 in hindsight, and that the propaganda
100%,
that he did?
100%.
Okay, so if we can say that as a baseline, then we can say that anybody who's putting hate speech out here right now, that's something that's a completely different animal. When people are telling you that certain people have a low IQ, that certain people are damned by God, and some people are supposed to be sky Jesus as special little people, because according to not only the Mormon faith, but a lot of these white supremacist religious beliefs, they act like they believe that they're God's chosen people, even though they were broke, coming over here with a potato in their hand, going over there getting their butt kicked by the Arabs, going over there fighting the Crusades. It's pretty sad.
Robbie, if I may, sir, how can you put me in that box as a white supremacist when just for having an ethos?
Sir,
I mean,
you
that's
made it
what
about
freaks me out,
yourself
sir.
right now. I'm talking about the whole entire system. It's like it totally went over your head. We are part of
100%.
the.
No, 100%
Listen,
agree with you.
so listen. What I'm trying to tell you is, after 1776, see, when the British colonies were here, it used to be a religious hierarchy. So they told you that you were favored by God. So very intelligent white men with a high IQ could convince 5% of the people to only be middle class. So you had 95% of y'all poor, racist, and ultra religious, not having a
100%, you're
relationship with
correct.
God.
Yep.
So then, hold up. So then after 1776, right, then they started embracing this whole idea. See, the mediocrity thing, that's a scapegoat really for eugenics. And eugenics gave birth to communism, socialism, and the vulture form of capitalism that we have, right? Okay, but that was birthed out of white supremacy, because you know what? The white supremacists that were rich said, you know what? We want to convince these poor white folks so we can justify the wealth gap. We're going to say we are predetermined by our genetics, that we're genetically superior, when in reality these people had wealth roll over for several generations. And that's what you guys bought. That's what you guys accepted. You didn't even have to compete with us. So, I mean, if you keep using the slot machine for 250 years and you never hit the jackpot, why would we listen to you? That's why, to be honest with you, and I respect Brother Tariq's stage, but I personally now say any white person that doesn't have over $10 million in the bank, you can shut up. You've been bamboozled. You've been fooled. And the only thing you have is bigotry. And if you expect us to continue to stroke somebody's ego and to allow them to live in this
Robbie, all
delusion.
due respect, you can't
Hold
put
up.
me in that box.
You're putting yourself in the box, sir. I'm talking about this country that I served and that I
In that
love.
box you're putting
And
me
right
in.
now,
I'm
you
not a
are
white
in the box.
supremacist.
Do you pay taxes?
Of course.
If you pay taxes, then you're part of the box because you're helping support the oligarchy. Not only are you helping to support the oligarchy, but it's like people were pretty. Answer this question for me, Freedom. I land my
That
plane.
doesn't
What?
make me. That doesn't
Hold
make
up.
me a white
Listen.
supremacist.
Can
But I
you
think
listen? Can you
taxes
listen?
do.
Can you listen? Why is it
Of
that
course.
white folks were really comfortable with the middle class being less than 5% in the British colonies? Let's go forward after 1776 up to 1913, before they had income tax and they had tariffs. Just like y'all are saying, y'all want to tear up the IRS and bring back the tariffs. Do you realize the middle class was like at 10%? And do you realize right now the top 10% of earners make up 40% of the GDP today? And we're bringing back tariffs. You guys are the ones that act like you guys know it all, but you don't. You've been under this drug, you've been over this hallucinogen, and
Robbie,
you really didn't
you
even.
realize that under this shutdown we got going on, Trump is taking the tariff money and making sure that all the EBT or whatever you call those, the welfare stuff, everybody's going to get paid. I
Man,
don't know if you know about that, and if I'm
I
wrong,
think,
call me
listen,
out.
you're wrong about a lot of things because I think you guys, as much as you say you don't want your history to be, to be anti woke, you're missing what I said. The middle class was like 10, 15% for over 100 years. The middle class. You didn't have a middle class to 1950.
Here it
I
is,
don't, what Tariq, yeah, deal with them, Tariq. Thank you.
brother Rob.
Okay, and if I may, Tariq, here. So if we want to go back, and I'm sure you've heard this argument before.
That whole dumbass, oh, I don't know. I'd never heard him say anything racist. What else did he say? That's all Charlie Kirk was known for. Literally, he wasn't known for nothing else. That's why they can't tell you anything. When you say, okay, what else was Charlie Kirk known for? You never I always ask them that. They never give an answer. They can't give an answer. They cannot give an answer. You see? So we ain't going for that. We ain't playing these little naive games. See, them playing naive, that's a defense strategy. They try to act shocked when people are calling out Charlie Kirk's racism. That's gaslighting. Charlie Kirk's racism was not subtle. It wasn't hidden. Everything, there's all types of videos. Everything out that man's mouth was something negative about us. This man died about to say something negative about black people. His last breath was about to say something negative about us. Don't ever let nobody fool you with this. Well, I didn't know racism. I didn't hear it. That was his marketing strategy. Charlie Kirk was running around here doing white supremacist hand signals. Yeah. His anger towards us. He targeted me all the time. Always said something crazy about me. I've had personal experiences with him. Let's be real. These, just like cousin Jerry said, those supporters praised Charlie Kirk because of his racism, not in spite of it. He didn't succeed by hiding his views. Charlie Kirk was elevated by these right wing institutions precisely because of his anti black views. His supporters loved the fact that he attacked black people all the time, downplayed racism, and made excuses for white supremacy. That's why you liked him. So they're trying to do some damage control with this guy. Y'all not going to do that. They're trying this revisionist history campaign, and they're mad that we ain't on that. And yeah, the fact that politicians are trying to force black schools, or we're going to deprive you of money and state funding if you don't go along with this racism, that shows how much of a problem it is. Because now that's colonizer shit. I'm going to deprive you of something if you don't go along with it. That's colonizer shit. Yeah, you got to force people. You got to undermine their livelihood if they don't go along with racism. Yeah, that's called white supremacy. That's the epitome of white supremacy. The fact that these politicians are practicing open white supremacy is the point. Yeah? So let's not play that game. ATY O'Grady, what's up, man?
What's up, Tariq? Addy of Gratty.
Addy O'Grady, hell of a name. What's going on with you, man?
Attitude of gratitude. Man, I came in here to, well, what's up to the FBA family? But I came in here just to talk to Freedom. I don't know if he's still in the room, but just as he was incensed about Charlie, I'm incensed about him coming in, being disingenuous and acting completely delusional about who Charlie was. Because if you were really a fan of this guy, there's no way on God's green earth that you don't know the things that he was saying about black people.
Right.
You know, all of his, you don't even have to work hard to see the stuff. And see, what gets me about it is his whole stance was rage baiting black people. And when they talk about, oh, all I saw was him galvanizing young minds, that's
Lead.
bullshit.
Right.
He was talking about the stuff that he talked about. He was coalescing people who thought like him while he rage baited black people into these debates, talking to college students who don't have the intellectual capacity to probably debate him on the level that he needed to be debated on. And every time, everything he talks about when it comes to crime for black people, white people commit those same crimes.
Oh, yeah.
And we're not the only people who commit crimes against our own race, because a lot of that stuff is based on proximity. We have men unaliving their entire families, kids unaliving their parents, pew-pewing up schools. But everything that he talked about, it was what black people were doing. That in itself says everything.
Exactly. Exactly. That was his whole platform. Giving out those bogus, skewed, quote unquote stats, which are bogus because you don't assess and put the things in the right context. Because when you compare them to whites, you leave out that white people get the presumption of innocence, where their actions are just justified by, well, it was self-defense, or they didn't know any better, or it was mental illness because of white supremacy. So white stats are not marked down like black stats. So they get the benefit of the doubt. White people do crimes all the time. They get slaps on the wrist and their crimes are reframed. Their crimes are reframed, making them innocent. No matter what they do, it can be reframed. Well, they didn't know any better. Oh, they had a little mental breakdown. Oh, they were fearing for their lives. So they get the presumption of innocence. So the stats are skewed from the gate. That's the context. So yeah, you can name stats. Yeah, on paper, we're gonna look up because you're jotting everything down on paper. You're the one taking the stats. And also federal crime stats, those are voluntary. Most local agencies don't even have to do it. They volunteer the information. And guess who they don't volunteer the information on? White criminals. So you just put everything in the right context. All right. Anyway, let me go ahead and wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up. Yeah, what freedom drained me. When he start talking that he's in Cherokee. So God, Lord, I can't. That drained me for some reason. That just drained me. I don't want to hear Mayo babble. I just didn't want to hear Mayo. Um, Before I go, who's this person? Uncompromised. What's up, Uncompromised? Uncompromised, hop on. Mr. Uncompromised. You want to hop on before I go? I was gonna have you as the last person because you hopped up here, but you ain't saying nothing. So let me go ahead and wrap it on up then. All right. Anyway, man, y'all go to hiddenhistorymuseum.com. Make a contribution to the Hidden History Museum. Also, go to rootworkstyle.com to get the best deodorant on the planet. That is Rootwork, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm up out of here. Papi Akute, Lola Vuve to the family. Peace.
I'm no longer musty. I'm no longer musty. Hey, I'm no longer musty. Hey, I'm no longer musty. 'Cause I got got my real work on. I'm no longer musty, 'cause I got my real work on. I'm no longer musty, 'cause I got my real work